Hey folks, from Rock the Block Live, with me as a very special guest is Bobby Lee.
Hi everyone.
Okay, so Bobby is a strong advocate for Bitcoin. This was during the BTC days, even the Bitcoin Foundation. You talk about Bitcoin all the time, right? And especially right now, this is Bitcoin's 10th year anniversary. And we have seen how the market has evolved, ups and downs, with the Bitcoin fork, Bitcoin Cash fork, right? Like, what's going on, Bobby?
So much is going on. So much going on. In the last, in the last 2-3 weeks, Bitcoin price has come down by almost 50%.
Yeah.
Certainly over 40%. It's a big shock to a lot of people. If you look at year to date, Bitcoin's down almost 80%. It's amazing how much it's come down. However, I'm not fazed. I'm not surprised. Obviously, I would prefer for the price to not come down, but it is a reality. We live in the real world. Yeah. There's a lot of fear, a lot of greed. Human beings, you know, we're the market is caused by human beings buying and selling, a lot of greed and a lot of fear. If you look at Bitcoin in the last 10 years, I've actually been following this since 2011, and even in the last 7.5, 8 years, we've seen Bitcoin go through at least 3 or 4 of these big cycles. Yeah. And each time, each of these big cycles, when it goes up 10, 20, 100x. When it goes down, it falls by 80%, 90% in some cases. So at this time, you know, going from $20,000 down to, you know, only $3,500, that sounds like a big fall. But it's no different than Bitcoin falling from $20 to $3. We saw that. We saw that in 2011, 2012. Right? We saw it fall from $100 down to $20, down to $10. We saw it fall from $1,200 down to just $150.
It's just the same.
Same ratio, just different dollar magnitude, but same ratio. So I think the bottom, you know, maybe this is a market bottom now. Maybe it'll go down a little bit more. But I absolutely have a stronger faith that Bitcoin is a new global asset class. It's going to be very relevant for our future as humanity, and that one day it will be in the trillions of dollars of worth. That's what I truly believe. It's not investment advice. I'm not a qualified investment advisor to advise people. But what I can tell people is I own some Bitcoin, and I will predict myself my Bitcoin will be worth, you know, a lot more, 20 to 100 times more than it is today in the future.
So when we look at Bitcoin original vision, Satoshi's original vision with what Bitcoin was, the philosophy behind it, and then now you have in the market where you have Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash for ABC and SV and the gold and diamonds and every other offshoots, right? But what about this Craig Wright coming out saying his is the original vision? So to the people in the market right now who don't know any better, they're going to go, what's going on? That is the original coin? That's not the original coin? Where do you come in with that?
It is the way it is. Because Bitcoin is decentralized, no one owns it, so people can have different versions of it. You know, I've been predicting this for many years. It's kind of like religion, right? You know, 2 years ago, when Bitcoin was about to fork, I was saying, you know, it's like religion. In the end, if you look at the earth today, we have many religions on this planet, right? In fact, many of the religions we do have, we see, are actually descendants of the same religion from 2,000 years ago, right? So I'm not an expert in theology, but I think the same thing's going to happen. In 20 years, we may have different versions of different coins, and many of them are descendants from the same original coin. So that's just how it is, because there will be different people in the world with different perspectives, different beliefs, and they will follow their own belief. Some people will follow this vision, some people will follow that vision, but the market will decide which one has more value.
It's like Bitcoin came in trying to solve a real world problem, which is currency on a blockchain, and that was during the time of 2008 where banks and the Feds were controlling money. So that was the original vision.
The vision was to solve, let me clarify, the vision is to solve a truly digital version of money that is not controlled. So they wanted to launch a digital money system that is not controlled by anyone, not even by themselves. So that is a huge task, because it's never been done before. Never in history has there been a digital form of money that's not controlled by anyone.
That was the biggest deal.
That's the biggest deal. They solved it. The Bitcoin white paper proposed a solution. It was like, wow, amazing. Can it really work? And on January of 2009, they launched the Bitcoin network. Satoshi Nakamoto. And the rest is history.
But when we look at the cryptocurrency now in the market today, we have projects coming up trying to be the next bank, trying to centralize their control. We have EOS.
So all the projects today that are centralized in nature, I'm not interested in those. I mean, that's been done there, done that. To me, that's not on the right path.
So in 2019, or maybe let's say in the next run up to the next 1 year, right? What's your thought on market? Like, if you have to predict a trend, you've been in this for like close to since the dawn of time. Like,
I would predict that give it 2 to 3 years, the market will recover. Maybe it doesn't take that long. Maybe it does take that long. When I say recover, it'll go past, blow past its past high. The past high today is about $20,000.
Yeah.
It'll shoot past that. It will at least go up to 3 to 5 times that price, which would make it, $60,000 to $100,000.
Yeah.
It may even go higher, go to $500,000, and that's going to be the next high. And then after the next high, it's going to pull back another 80%.
We're going to see this happening all over again.
All again, but by then it'll be hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. People are like, oh my gosh, Bitcoin fell from $500,000 down to only $40,000.
But people's going to lose their houses because
they will. Some people will. Some greedy people who mortgage their house to buy Bitcoin at $500,000 will lose their house when it falls down to $40,000. But by then, that $40,000 is more than our last high, which is $20,000.
So if you buy it now,
right?
Yeah.
So it's going to keep going like that for 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
One day it's going to stabilize because all over the world, countries will start realizing this is real money. People will use it like real money, and it's going to hold steady value. However, there's a small chance the price will keep going up because if we measure Bitcoin with real money, with fiat money like the US dollar, if they keep printing the US dollar, then the price will go up. Yeah. Because you're measuring the price of Bitcoin using a measuring stick that's shrinking and shrinking and shrinking in value. Yeah. That's why.
Now you got hit by the China lockdown on BTCC overnight.
BTC China closed down our exchange in 2017.
That was like the strongest exchange back then.
Yeah.
And then overnight it just goes down.
We closed down. The official wording is we decided to shut down ourselves.
Well, that is very wise as well.
Yes.
I'm thinking like in the last 10 years, there's hardly any interference from the outside forces, right? And this was, what we see the up and downs is really the market deciding what it was.
Yeah.
But when we look at all the institutional investors, regulators coming in, now this could be a different play. It might just pivot Bitcoin in a different direction, primarily because there are people who are in power with vested interest to try to shift things around.
Yeah.
Am I in a different realm in the conspiracy theory level now, or do you think there is some truth in that?
Truth in what? In that
the people in power will try to maneuver Bitcoin to their own advantage.
Well, of course, everyone is trying to do that. Everyone is. Yeah. I'm also selfish, right? I invested in Bitcoin. I believe in it, but because I invested, I believe in it first, then I invested in it, and now I believe in it more, and I'm spreading more message. So it's absolutely true. So think about who's Bitcoin affecting? Bitcoin is affecting every country, every central bank, every government that used to issue their own money. So if you're a country that's used to issuing your own money, and you're using the own money and the ability to issue it to sort of control the society, right, to have budget spending and stuff like that, now Bitcoin is a direct competitor to your ability to issue money.
Yeah.
So one day in 20 years maybe, you will lose your ability to issue money.
Correct.
Right? Think about Kodak photography. Kodak used to sell film for photography, 35 millimeter film, Kodak Chrome and stuff like that. But what did digital cameras do? Digital cameras disrupted the ability for Kodak and Fuji to sell film.
Yeah.
Because as people buy digital cameras, they don't need to buy film anymore.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? Kodak went out of business. They no longer sell film. Now people still sell film, but it's very niche. Yeah. There's still companies that sell film, but it's a very niche market.
So this is just an inevitable
Same thing. Central banks today are issuing money, and they can issue money, inflate their reserves, inflate their budget, and use that to do deficit spending and stuff like that. But countries will lose that ability. Even the United States of America will lose that ability in the next 20, 40 years. Well, it's going to be a painful process, very painful.
Now, that's another topic I would love to talk to you about, and you can go on for hours.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So, Bobby, thank you so much. I don't take up too much of your time for this blog show interview segment. But if you are definitely free for this, I would love to talk to you about that and
sure.
direction.
Okay, all right, great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bobby Lee. You're watching Rock the Block Live.